Hello, hello. Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Dana Hayes. I am the modern day healer, and so are you. So today I want to talk to you about the reason why some coaches and some healers find that they receive a massive ROI, even when they have spent tens of thousands of dollars, like I have, to um, put skin in the game as a coach, right? So they've invested in their own coaching, and some receive that massive ROI while most never do. And I have been in the industry for about a decade now, and I have had the opportunity to watch the like this process that seems to take place, and it's pretty clear. Like if you were to go and you would survey all of the people who have made it, the ones that are making at least $10,000 a month and above, um, right, and have made that consistent return on their investments, and then they consistently continue to invest in themselves and their journey, you would find that there's a very common thread between all of them, and it separates what I like to say the girls or the women from the girls, right? Like this is the point of no return that the ones who find that they really get an ROI have to hit. Okay, so what's the difference? You obviously, to even play the game, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. We all know that. This is like not news. Okay, so let's just pretend we're all on the same playing field. We've all invested tens of thousands of dollars into our own coaching. Okay. So now we're at that point where we know all the strategies. We pretty much have a grasp on what's going on. We know what we want to teach. Maybe we're not super clear on our messaging. Okay, that might be a little bit of a thing. Maybe you don't even have your offers put together. All right, that's a problem. But all of that aside, what is the thing that is missing and that other coaches find and healers find that lets them go and catapult into the next arena where they actually make money? And it's not just having an offer, it's not just having a clear message. It's really not, because all those things are natural byproducts of what I'm about to talk about. They get to the point where there is a do or die moment. Okay. And this moment, a lot of times, looks like I've invested in all of these other things. I know all the strategies. I have all the courses. And now I'm just sitting here waiting for my ROI. But I'm also sitting here kind of thinking to myself, I'm not going to invest again until I've started making money, because I feel like I've already taken too much from my family. And I'm afraid at this point that I'm not going to make it back. And if I don't, then what's going to happen? Right? So then all the fear comes in. Okay. So now we're at this point where we're not investing anymore. And we're sitting there and we're going, what is next? What actually happens here? Right. And the belief in ourself is still there, but it begins to wane and it begins to ebb and flow a little bit more than we like to admit. And then maybe we become a little bit more apathetic about our own success. And we're like, you know what? I never really needed money in the first place. Okay. That's funny to me. Okay, so we're at that point, and then all of a sudden, this offer comes along, this new container, this new experience, and you're like, wait, something about this feels refreshing. Something about this feels different. Why am I so effing attracted to this? Right? And all of a sudden, your ego is screaming, and it's like, nope, put the brake, pump the brakes, pump the brakes, pump the brakes, because ultimately you've already spent so much money. You've already put it all on the line. You've not made much money back. And now you want to invest more money. No, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And also, what is your partner going to think? What is your husband going to think? What is your wife going to think? Right. And so let the battle begin. All of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, I feel like internally, none of this has been in vain. None of the strategies I've learned have been in vain. None of the investments I've made have been in vain. But do I feel like they were the end all be all? No. Do I feel like all of a sudden this new opportunity is in front of me and I feel like it's the thing? Yes, I do. And I think that it's the thing that's going to bring this all together. This is what separates the ones that make the massive return and the ones who do not. The ones who make the massive return have this butt clenching moment where now everything's on the line. At first, it was like, I'm going to put a lot of money up. I'm going to really invest in myself. And this is scary. Oh, now you're in a drought. Like it's a desert. Your bank account is a desert. Your business bank account is non-existent, right? And now you're like the stakes aren't just high, they're like too high. Because now my kids' education for next year is at stake. Now like I'm actually thinking about our retirement and I'm like, should I dip into that? I know that's a very, very poor financial decision, but I'm thinking about it, right? This is where the mind starts going. And it's like, I don't know what to do. The ones that make the massive return end up, guess what they do? They go, I live my life. This is what I teach, okay? Not just me. This is what healers teach. And this is what people will pay you to understand and to learn is that you are practicing what you preach, right? So ultimately, if what I teach is that when I believe in myself, when I believe in a higher power, which is my true self, right? I'm an extension of that. And I believe in that and I follow that. And that's what I teach. I follow the will of that thing. Right. And I'm constantly clearing out everything else that is not that thing. I'm chipping away at all of the things that are not that thing so I can be in that thing, so that I can be a part of that, so I can live that way, so that I can walk that way, talk that way, and do things that way. Because I'm thinking from that higher perspective. If that's what I teach, and that's what you teach, because you're a healer, and you are hearing that quiet, you know that your higher power is a quiet voice. It's not screaming. Your ego screams. Your ego is loud. Your ego is the one that comes in with all of the fears and tells you why that's a terrible idea and why you will not make it and you should not do that because you've already invested all of this money and you have not yet made it back. So why is this time different? That's your ego screaming at you because God forbid you follow that voice one more time. You follow that freaking quiet voice one more time. What's going to happen to your ego? Because when you follow that freaking voice one more time, that little quiet voice, the one that is telling you, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one, and it ends up being the one, and it proves to you that your faith is a good thing and that you can have faith, not just in your higher power, but in yourself, in your true self, in your soul, your ego is no longer needed. Right. So it's going to scream at you and it is going to give you all the reasons why you are wrong and why you are dumb and why this is not a good idea and why your husband's going to leave you for it. Okay. And why you're going to leave your kids homeless, shelterless, like starving. It's going to give you all of these reasons because God forbid you strengthen your faith in your truth, in your higher self, in who you are, because taking that action, that last action is the last declaration, right? This is the massive action that creates the massive result that gives you the massive ROI because you are making such an energetically aligned decision at that moment when you say yes and you actually follow the will of your higher power. You are making a declaration that that's how you live your life, that that's the voice that you follow, that you choose to follow. And you are making it so crystal freaking clear, not just to yourself, but to the universe, to every other human being that's around you, that that's how you live your life. That energy is the thing that separates the women from the girls. That energy is what separates the men from the boys. That's what gets you the ROI, the return on investment from all of your other investments. Because that energy, that shift in energy, is the thing that is going to bring other people into your world and help them to trust that you do what you say you do and that you live the life that you preach. That is the difference. That's the difference. And guess what? We all want these unreasonable results. We want these, like I said, we want that massive ROI. That's what you want. You do. And you're allowed to have it. Okay. So, first thing, like you're allowed to have it. It's a part of the spiritual experience because everything is freaking spiritual, like news flash. So, you're allowed to have that. It will help you to serve more and it will give you even more empowered energy to show up in light, right? Like in your light, excited to go, bringing more people into that because what are they seeing? They are seeing truth reflected to them from you. You are actually showing them by example what is possible for them if they were to follow their higher will, if they were to follow the path of something bigger instead of their ego, even when it is the scariest moment ever, where everything feels like it's stacked against you and it is the all-time highest stakes that you have ever been up against. Guess what? Guess what? Diamonds are born under pressure. You need that healthy pressure. If you don't have it and you're just sitting there and you're floating and you're trying to skate by, I can almost guarantee you that you will be one of the people who do not make it, who do not make your return on investment, which is so sad because it's your calling. You're meant to do this. If you're meant to do this, then you've got to see it all the way through. It's like the person that is just digging a hole to hit water, digging, digging, digging. And all of those other investments, all of those other strategies have gotten you to the point where if you would take one more big swing, you would hit that water. But so many people, most people stop. They stop right there because they will not pick that shovel up one more time. They won't because it's been fruitless the entire time, which is crazy because it's just invisible, right? It hasn't been fruitless. You know that. You know that in your heart that it has not been fruitless, that this has been all for this moment. This is what all the work was for this decision, for you to make a declaration that you are going to follow the will of something bigger, which is your higher self, which is your higher power, whatever you want to call it. And when you have trust and faith in that, you ultimately are having trust and faith in yourself. When you have that, there is nothing that you cannot do. Like there is a limitless amount of possibility teeming in that water, right? Like that's the void. You're actually digging to hit the void to see where all the possibilities lie for you and to dive into that. But you have to take that last swing. And okay, so most people are going to deem that unreasonable. They're going to go, I will not do that because I will not put my family in jeopardy. I get it. That is reasonable. But what is wrong with being reasonable? Everything, because your higher power is not reasonable. We don't live in a reasonable world. That's why there is such a discrepancy between the people that are making the ROI and those that are not. Because the people that are making the ROI are the ones that are willing to do what's not reasonable, even when everybody else is looking at them going, you are being unreasonable. You're doing something wrong. You are putting your family in jeopardy. How dare you? How dare you? Okay, well, let's talk about that for a second, right? Okay, so what's everyone else going to do? They're going to do best practices. That's what everybody else is doing. Well, let's do these strategies. Let's do what everybody else is doing, which makes them compete with each other. And they all do it. Millions of coaches are doing this right now, competing with each other, competing for the title of expert in one modality that's already been taken years ago by the person that fucking started it in the first place. So you're never going to be that expert that everybody looks at because that market is already completely saturated. Okay, so it's time for you to look at the reality of the situation and stop competing and start collaborating. And the only way to do that and to get onto that broad highway where nobody else is, right? To get your head out of the dirt and to stop driving down this congested highway where millions of other people are, right? You're never going to be seen there. That's why there's no massive ROI down there, because everyone else is doing the same damn things. You need to do only practices, not best practices. You need to do practices that nobody else is willing to do but you and a few other people. Those few other people know what it took to get to that spot, and they are going to be so happy to see you do the same thing that they did, that they are going to grab your hand and bring you right up to the top with them, because it's an exciting place to be. It's a collaborative place to be. And ultimately, everybody wins. It's not a zero-sum game. There are not millions of people in that spot. There are thousands, if that. So wouldn't you rather make this easy on yourself and see it through and take that last whack, right? That last swing of the shovel and hit that water of endless possibility and see all of your investments finally come together. Watch the return on them come into your bank account, right? Watch the money start coming in and really make a return on this stuff. Make it worth it for you and your family. If you want that, you have to be willing to invest that one more time when you are feeling so afraid and you're hearing your ego scream at you why this is not going to work because it hasn't worked in the past. If you find a program that helps you to believe in yourself, that is the one thing you need. If you find a program that actually teaches you how to believe in yourself by going to the source of what you actually are in the first place and believing in that first, you can bet that you are going to see a massive return on all of your other investments, because that has always been the missing piece. That has always been the last shovel dig. That has always been that last whack, is the belief, the belief, the belief, freaking belief. Because when you have belief in yourself, that comes from a belief in something bigger that created you in the first place, right? Then you will have belief that that investment, that final piece, is going to work regardless of how terrifying it might feel. Oh my God. I feel like I just gave birth, but I also feel really good. And I'm just like, this is the last day, guys. This is the last day. This is the last day to get 50% off on the Modern Day Healer experience. The whole point is to have this felt experience of belief in yourself that you can only actually have when you have a belief in the thing that made you in the first place. So we focus on that. We prioritize that. And we make sure that any strategy that you choose to use out of that whole smorgasbord that you probably already learned is the one that's going to support that. That's going to support your spiritual growth first. That is going to support you and your relationship to something bigger first, because everything comes from that place. All of your confidence, all of your belief, all of your faith, and everything that you're doing, that's where it comes from. Your ideas, your inspirations, your creativity. I mean, God, that is the source of your everything. It's the thing that created you, right? That's why it's called the Modern Day Healer experience. Because when you have that felt experience of being in relationship with something bigger than you, the thing that created you in the first place, you have the experience of knowing who you are at the freaking core. You have the experience of feeling fully healed because it's what you are. You are wholly healed already. The work is chipping away at the pieces that aren't you, so that you can touch that soft, juicy, tender core that is your soul, that is you, your healed self, right? Knowing that you're always going to have this imperfect human to deal with, and that's okay. But once you get to that place, you can start actually having fun. You can have fun with the identity that you create and do not get attached to anymore, right? You get to actually consciously create that part of yourself. You get to, it's born out of love this time instead of fear, like the first identity that you had for your whole childhood, the thing that you created that was born out of fear, and it protected you for so long, and that was a beautiful thing when you were a child. But then it's time to like get rid of that, and you were so attached to it, and it's time to get rid of that, right? And then you get in touch with the thing that's been hiding for so long, which is your connection and your relationship to this higher part of yourself, which is the real you. And then you get to use that, you get to co-create this new expression of self, the one that has been wanting to be birthed through you for so long. It's a part of you that is going to have more fun than any other part of you ever has. And then you get to express that online and to other people. And it's the magnetism piece, right? That's what draws people in and has them pull their credit card out and say, yeah, I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to do this with you. It Sales or service, guys. I mean, you can't get around that. You can try, and you will try. I bet you. I bet you, because I know the process. I know the process. Like, you're going to have a point where you go, screw it. None of this is working. None of this. I'm going to do it for free. I'm going to do it for free because that was the righteous thing all along. I know. I did the partnership. It was a free container, and it did not work because I did not fill my cup up, and I didn't have enough money to sustain and to keep going on giving. Like, I couldn't. I live in this world. Like, I am a human also, right? So, just so you know, like, if you hit that point or you're at that point right now, I see you. It's okay. And you will come out of it, and you will, if you do what I just talked about, follow the will of your higher power and say yes instead of no to the things that are truly aligned. Oh my God, you are going to see that ROI come in, and you're going to be like, oh my God, thank you. This is so much more fun because I get to like show up even more excited and enthusiastic about what I'm doing, because proof is in the pudding, guys. All right. Um, okay, for real though, last day today, to get 50% off the Modern Day Healer Experience, which is our group long, I mean, oh my God, I keep saying that, our year-long group program where we are focusing on faith, where we are focusing on your belief in your higher power, which is going to translate itself into belief in yourself because you were created from that part, from that place, right? And then so we're going to have at least two group healing sessions every single month. And listen, like that, what that really looks like is us following, like I said, we're going to be clearing ourselves out, connecting with our higher power, and maintaining that. And that's what we do there in that space. You're going to be living in the soul solution, right? You're going to be feeling so refreshed, so revived. You're going to be like, oh my God, that just filled my cup up. And I know how to continuously fill my own cup up by strengthening my relationship to my higher power every single day. And then, so that's what those healing sessions are every month. And then we're also going to have a business development call every single month. And it's going to just be the thing where you are implementing inspired actions, right? From that place of integration with your higher power. So you're going to be implementing a strategy that works for you, that allows you to support your spiritual growth first, because everything else comes from that place. All the strategies, everything you already know is going to come together when you prioritize your spiritual growth and you take very, very concise, practical spiritual action every single day, and stop dabbling in all of the healing method and modalities that are available to you, right? Because those are rabbit holes. If they don't get you through the finish line, which is on the daily, strengthening your connection to your higher power, which is the source of every single thing that you are, then what are we doing? We're just getting brief periods of relief. No, we want lasting relief. We want to feel connected at all times. That's the point, right? So that's what we're doing. And that's where we're going to be coming from with our actual strategy. And like I said, all the strategies that you've already learned are going to come together and really make sense for you, because you're going to go, oh my God, like, this is so much easier than I thought it was. I just actually had to prioritize the one thing that needed to be prioritized. And then the rest of the things that I already know are now coming together, and it's so much easier. I feel like I have so much space and energy to create, and I don't feel so bogged down by, I don't even know what, right? Okay. And then we're going to do at least one training every single month based off of the relevant topics that come up with the group. And I'll be selling those on the front end, but you will get access to everything I create, paid and free, for the whole entire year. And right away when you join, you will get my 8-week self-study course. Soulshine is so effing good. I think it's like, I don't even know how many hours, like probably 20 hours worth of trainings that you can just dive into, but it's all about getting clear on your business direction from the inside out. So it's really exactly what I'm talking about here in this entire video. But really extracting it and diving deeper into all of the principles and the basics of healing, the things that underlie all methods and modalities, and allowing you to really take a bird's eye view of all of the marketing strategies really that are available to you, and picking and choosing pieces from them to support your spiritual growth so that it all comes together and you can blow it out of the water and make that massive ROI that you've been waiting to create for yourself, right? So you get access to that right away. That's a $2,000+ course. And all of these things together are like, I don't even know, like $24,000 worth of stuff. But today, this is the last day, you can get the Modern Day Healer experience for half of what it's going to be. It is going to be $12,000 starting tomorrow for the year. So today, you can get it for $6,000, and you can even do a payment plan if that works better for you. I have a few people on that right now, and it's a monthly payment plan, so it'd be $500 a month. And to be honest with you, I feel like I'm literally like giving this away. But I really wanted to get my founding members in, and I wanted to make it a complete no-brainer. Like, this is the thing. This is that last shovel dig before you hit that water and everything comes together for you, because it's the belief piece. It's the belief piece. Nobody else. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just really mean this in all sincerity. I have not seen anybody be able to teach how to genuinely get to the core of your deep-seated beliefs in yourself without compartmentalizing it, having to go one by one. It's like, wait, we can simplify that. We can make it really easy. Listen, your belief in yourself comes from the belief that you have in your higher power. If you are living from a space of, I genuinely believe and I trust and I rely in my higher power, and I have a genuine relationship with it, and I know how to strengthen that relationship, which is all we're going to be working on, I mean, for the most part, you are also going to be able to say, I have a genuine relationship with myself. I have pure belief in myself, because you are that. It's the core of everything. Like, that is right there. I do this, but it's this, right? So, I can't really, I'm sorry, but everybody else makes it really fucking complicated. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. If you want to join us. Okay, I love you guys so much. If you're interested, just DM me. I don't even have a sales page for this yet. And this is the point. Like, I don't have to. You don't have to. When you actually have the experience, that's why it's called the Modern Day Healer experience. When you have the experience of being in relationship with this thing, because it just guides you, and it does get to be this easy. It does not have to be that complicated, but you do have to listen to your soul, which whispers, and stop listening to your freaking ego that is telling you that you're going to fail. You're not, but you have to listen to your soul. So I'm going to take my hands off the wheel now and let your higher power control where you go from here. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go to a client call. Love you. Mwah. I know I'm still here. Just hold on. I'm trying to end this one. And then I will end this one. Here we go.